Who killed Thf Bayzoo? We about to find out.
During Lil Zay Osama's self-snitching marathon in the summer of 2025, he had also attacked the one THF member that was so close to Lil Durk, you would have had to assume he was off limits. This being THF's most respected member Bezoo, who had been close with Durk for well over a decade, with Zay giving Bezoo a backhanded compliment during his conversation with DJ Academics in August 2025, first calling Bezoo a good dude before calling him broke. As many people associated with Durk's OTF crew had seemingly ran into some financial difficulties after Durk was arrested by the feds in October.
Now you got Lil Zay Osama going to jail for home invasions, but he calling somebody else broke.
2024.
I'm just saying.
But Zoo a good though, for real. Zoo a good, but he back in the trenches up wearing white beaters all day. Yeah, I mean that's just what it is. He ain't do the right thing with the little money he was getting, man.
The following month, as Bezoo was celebrating his 35th birthday, he would strike back by flexing stacks of money while still wearing his white tank top that Zay had made fun of, and seemingly responding to him in the caption by sarcastically saying how he was still broke and in the trenches before ending the caption with 6300K, aka 6300 killer. Zay, on the other hand, could be seen at a DJ Vlad interview.
Oh, he said Dawa. I didn't even remember that. He said Dawa 6300K,
aka 6300 killer. Zay, on the other hand, could be seen at a DJ Vlad interview clip that was posted the very next day after Bezoo's post, with Zay making it clear that he was never signed to Durk's OTF label, with Zay possibly implying that while he was still cool with Durk, he wanted nothing to do with people around him like Bezoo.
Well, everyone thought that you were signed to OTF.
No.
But you were never signed.
No, I never signed to OTF.
But you and Durk were close?
Yeah.
Okay, because
we did a song, he gave me the chain. You know how artists be, they get chains and shit.
They think you're signed to OTF.
Yeah, so everybody thought I was signed to OTF, but I ain't never signed to OTF.
He was probably trying to
About a month later, on the 25th of October 2025, Bezoo, real name Devonshea Collier, was out shopping in his hometown in the Little Village neighborhood, also known as the Mexico of the Midwest due to its large Hispanic population. Now, THF has no known enemies in this neighborhood, which is why Bezoo likely felt safe moving out in the open.
That's why I thought it was so weird. Somebody had to follow him. The only thing that makes sense, either somebody followed him or somebody saw him in Little Village. The wrong person saw him and they knew somebody that knew somebody that knew somebody, and they called some people on him and said, hey, Bezoo over here.
Because as he himself had said in his No Jumper interview a few years back, he knew how to move in Chicago and could never be caught lacking.
If they catch me and do what they do, which it ain't gonna happen, I'm too advanced for these sit and watch how these lose their life. It ain't nothing to be bragging on, but
niggas be saying that shit. They be sounding so, I ain't gonna lie, rest in peace to them, but niggas gotta understand how stupid that mindset is, bro. Like, you said you too advanced. Ain't nobody too advanced. You not about to tell me you know everything that's going on around you. You not about to tell me you know everybody who, you know, to every time a car drive by, you know exactly who in there. Every time you wake up, you know when they looking for you. Okay, if that was the case, then shit, nigga, what the fuck? You got Jesus powers or something, my nigga? You know you the all-knowing G.O.D. or something? You ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't how it works. I don't give a fuck how advanced you is, nigga. It's SEAL Team 6 members that ain't got killed by a random Muslim in slides and a man dress, folks. Just shoot. Blah, blah, blah. Nigga get hit in the neck. Ah, SEAL Team 6, the coldest nigga ever to live in life. You feel me? Like, that don't mean nothing, bro.
These
niggas gotta get out that mindset, though.
They ain't built for this. Like, I don't get caught like it, man. Anything happen to anybody, blood. A blink of eye, you turn your head one second, man, the wrong move, you don't see nothing can happen, gang.
That's literally exactly what happened, too. But you gotta know that. You gotta know that. And you gotta be so scared. That's why I tell y'all, the best thing to do in the streets is to be so scared that you leave the streets. You so fucking scared to get killed in the streets, you just can't be a street nigga no more. Just, hey, boy, I'm going, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not walking around 35 years old with kids, got a bunch of money, you know what I'm saying, doing all my thing. I'm not flying to L.A., kicking in at No Jumper, and then getting back on a plane and going back to Chicago knowing niggas in the city want to kill. Like, I'm not doing that.
Surround yourself in certain environments, you ain't got to worry about that. I'm too much worried about one of my own snaking me out before I let a goofy get up on me, gang. That's just how I look at life. You feel me? Like, ain't no thing farther than me, man. I realize I do this, bro. You feel me?
Unfortunately, though, once again, the harsh reality.
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Okay, folks. THF is 46 in Woodlawn. That's like the South Side. You can get to Lakeshore Drive extremely quick, or you can get to the freeway extremely quick. Gang. You know Little Village only like 20 minutes away, right? Like, it's a Mexican neighborhood, but it ain't like all the way on the west side somewhere. Like you can get there in 20 minutes from 46 and Woodlawn. You feel me? Y'all always ask me to show y'all exactly how to get rich on YouTube, so I made a full-blown course. It's not complete yet, but you can order it right now. There's 5 hours of content in it right now. It'll be like 12 or 15-hour full course once it's done. It'll be done by April 1st, all right? So click the link in the description, get your course, and start learning how to really get rich on YouTube. I'm not just no one-hit wonder type guy. No, I have more than 40 channels that make me hundreds of thousands of dollars all together every single month. Like, I'm checking straight bags off of this, just sitting in my crib, recording, making videos. So if you want to learn exactly how I do it, I'm showing you how to clip farm, how to edit, how to upload, how to make thumbnails, how to develop your character, how to make shorts, how to make clips, right? I'm giving you every piece of every single type of strategy that you will ever need to get rich on YouTube. So click that link. It's not a super cheap course, but it ain't expensive. It's only $150. And if you use the code MAGMULA, you could get 20% off of that $150. So go get you some money.
Is that no one in the streets is really untouchable, and despite believing that he moved the right way at all times, Bezoo too would end up getting touched. After finishing up shopping at a car parts store, Bezoo and his entourage were heading back to their vehicle when security cameras captured a car pulling into the far end of the parking lot before 2 armed men jumped out and begun running towards the group, who appeared to be completely unaware of the danger that was quickly approaching them. They didn't have any time to react until the gunmen were literally right next to them and opening fire, clearly targeting Bezoo specifically, who was struck multiple times, with one of the shooters even staying in place for an extended period to make sure that he had finished the job. The shooters would rush back to their car and flee the scene, while Bezoo was transported to the hospital in critical condition, and sadly he would later succumb to his injuries, while his 2 companions who had also been hit would fortunately end up surviving. Soon after, as the killing of one of the biggest names in Chicago drill began to spread across social media, people on places like Reddit would begin theorizing which rival gang set had been behind this brazen broad daylight slaying, with most people, perhaps somewhat surprisingly, thinking that BVC was the top suspect. BVC certainly had a clear motive to retaliate against THF, who had allegedly killed their friend BVC Man, but the real reason for people's suspicions were rumors that quickly began spreading across social media after Bezoo's murder, pointing to none other than Kuglo Lil Sam as one of the shooters, after a picture surfaced showing him wearing what appeared to be the exact same grey Nike Tech tracksuit that one of the gunmen was wearing in the surveillance footage. Online detectives would also post an Instagram live that Sam had done right after Bezoo's murder, where viewers can be seen commenting how people on Reddit are saying that he killed Zoo, while Sam is happily flexing a bunch of cash, yelling, "Where he at?" Lil Sam would even seemingly play into the rumors by posting a picture of him and his friend both rocking that grey Nike Tech, and later during his interview with Corporate Cartel, one of Lil Sam's friends could also be seen wearing the same outfit, prompting Corporate Cartel to ask him if they were just trolling, with Sam pointing out how common it is to wear a Nike Tech fit in Chicago. So he essentially denied having anything to do with
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. The outfit was crazy because that looked like the exact same outfit, literally, head to toe. But I will say that is just a Chicago swag. You know what I'm saying? Chicago swag, just like how Philly, y'all love, for whatever dumbass reason, y'all love, what it is, New Balance and Under Armour. I don't know who told y'all that. That was it. But, okay. In Chicago, Nike Techs, everybody wear Nike, especially in the hood, G, like, Nike Techs is like fucking designer in the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Bezoo's murder.
Hey, you trolling with the Nike Tech. You know how they put, I told you how they put the Nike Tech on you. They put that on him. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come on, how you go this trolling. Oh, you off the chain.
Well, no, nothing about that.
Nah, I'm just saying because I think that's what y'all got going on.
Nah. We ain't doing that. We just, them our Nike Techs we wear, like black.
Yeah, everybody got that. Everybody got that.
Why would you want to put on a red Nike Tech, or you gonna put on a baby blue? You gonna see a black one or a gray one? You feel me? You gonna see the whole rack in that. Bro.
But the final piece of evidence that suggested Lil Sam wasn't the killer, after all, would come from a live that he allegedly did shortly after Bezoo's murder, which appeared to show that he wasn't even in Chicago at the time. THFG Baby would also come out to claim publicly that Lil Sam had not been behind Bezoo's death.
I'm telling y'all on my brother. I don't do no, listen. First of all, that what y'all doing is police. On gutter, he ain't do nothing. He didn't do nothing to my brother. Nothing. On my grandma. Nothing. I'm saying this. G-Baby saying this.
But how you know, though?
On gutter. On both of my brothers, that man. Nothing. Nothing at all, y'all. So stop that. Stop that. Clear that up.
There were also many people who considered the alliance of DMG, BTBG, and
Yeah,
6300 to have been behind the murder, as they also had a strong motive to avenge the murder of Lil Deuce, which
Right.
THF were also claiming, and unsurprisingly the suspicions would land particularly on none other than Kill Bill himself, who according to one Redditor, recently updated his body count once again. This referring to a track titled Devil Music 2 that he dropped about a week after Bezoo's death, where he would rap how he has 11 bodies if he catches one more. Kill Bill would also fuel the rumors when he was asked about Bezoo by Corporate Cartel shortly after the murder, and at first he appeared to respond sincerely, saying that he hadn't trolled Bezoo after his death, and he had even spoken to him on the phone before, suggesting that things weren't that bad between them, before adding a rest in peace. However, this was immediately followed by him looking over at his friends with what could only be described as a sinister grin, which alone convinced many people on the internet that he was indeed one of the shooters.
I just seen that rest in peace to the brother Bezoo. I didn't know that brother, you know what I mean? But it's just, you know, I don't want to see nobody die, you get what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, but it's like, that was horrible, but everybody had they, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Say like, on one, like, I wasn't trolling. Say we had words, but it wasn't no bad words. We was just on the phone and shit. It was me, him. We was on group FaceTime. I was in the car with Deucey. And we was on the phone with Zay, I think Lil Law and Zook, but like, so we wasn't even, like, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't arguing like that. You know, yeah. That don't be, you know, rest in peace on.
Yeah. For sure. So what I was gonna say though, you just spoke on Deucey, like Lil Deucey. I was calling him Deucey.
Following Bezoo's murder, the
That was a evil grin though. I don't know.
and Kill Bill's possible involvement begun to boost his profile across social media and on platforms like Reddit, where he'd already been gaining a lot of attention since popping out with Lil Deuce. But now, people were really starting to take notice of his claims of having double-digit bodies, with some labeling him as the new Lil Jeff, Chiracology's latest favorite crash out.
How is this YN not been locked up yet? Meet the 2025 version of Bloodhound Lil Jeff, aka Chicago's newest crash dummy Kill Bill. This YN didn't get that name for no reason. He really belting out here. According to Reddit nerds, Buddy is up 10 hats, and they not exaggerating. You know he's legit because he even unlocked the all-black mythical Micro Draco. Just look at this picture. Bro knows where he's going, and he doesn't care at all. He was caught drilling on camera multiple times, and even self-snitches from time to time on his IG. Y'all think Kill Bill is the new Q50?
And it's around this time when I too would begin to pay close attention to Kill Bill. I covered him in several of my second channel videos, which even prompted Kill Bill to respond to me on his Instagram, telling me he was going to smack the Sonic rings out of me for lying about him.
You chop Lil Ross, bro. I'll follow you back, but you gotta stop be on this land. You be all on YouTube with just be land. Just smack the out you, then I'll be wrong. I'll be wrong, right? Smack the dog, you then I'll be wrong, right?
I'm not gonna lie, that got me a little bit shook. Kill
Hell
Bill,
yeah, I'll call the police on
Kill
his
Bill,
ass.
I'm speaking to you personally. If you slap at me, you would be wrong, man. Because I'm a dork, all right? I'm not in the streets. I'm not catching no hats. Okay, ignore these hats. These aren't the same kind of hats that you be having. These are a different kind of hat. All right. Look, I am scared. Okay, I am scared. All right. I wasn't trying to lie on you. I thought these posts that were going around. All right, and I'm working overtime keeping these hats on my head. They've not fallen once, by the way. This is difficult. I thought these posts.
See, you good because you a white boy. They'll never do nothing to you. No matter what you say, no matter what you do on this YouTube, they'll never do nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? Never, ever, never, never, never. You ain't gotta worry about that.
Gospel. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I was thinking.
And
these
you got
posts,
the Harry Potter accent and shit. They ain't gonna do nothing to you, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
They're
I wasn't trying to lie on
they
your
ain't
name.
never.
It was no disrespect to Kill Bill. You know, maybe we got to set the record straight. I was going to say maybe let's sit down and do an interview, but I don't know if I've got the confidence to be in the same room as you, Kill Bill, because they're talking. I'm not trying to be 21 or 13 or what. 13's an unlucky hat number. If I'm going to be one of those hats, at least make me 14, bro. You're going to have to catch another hat before you sit down with me. But Kill Bill was by no means the only person from the BTBG, 6300 and DMG alliance who was drawing attention to themselves in the aftermath of Bezoo's murder, as many of them would openly celebrate the killing across social media. This also included Lil Zay Osama himself, who would interestingly post a picture of Lil Deuce, the implication being that Bezoo's murder was a get back, as well as posting himself dancing while doing the shooting motion, together with a caption that said, "When you catch your favorite op," and a bunch of laughing emojis. But that wasn't all, because already the very next day after the shooting that claimed Bezoo's life, Lil Zay would release another song and music video titled simply 6K. The song had likely been recorded way before Bezoo's murder, with Zay even talking about his friend Lil Deuce like he was still alive, but clearly the timing of the release was no coincidence, and the title of the song was a clever diss towards not just THF 46, which had been Bezoo's specific set, but also towards another set known as 600, who Zay had a long beef with due to one of their members allegedly killing 2 of his cousins. However, in the song, Zay delivered some especially harsh lyrics aimed at THF, like taking direct shots at one of the alleged watch thieves, THF Kino, also known by his Instagram handle Omerta, with Zay rapping that if he caught Kino on THF's block, he would hurt him, while also questioning how he could even call himself Omerta when he hadn't even killed anyone. Zay would also seemingly suggest how THF had thought that the situation was going to get squashed, only for Zay and his crew to instead be out shooting them, before adding that the only sets in the low end where THF 46 is based that he doesn't have issues with are the OBN and Welch World, making it clear that everyone else, including THF, is fair game. Zay would then close out the song with a reference to THF TP, mentioning how he was killed in front of his kids and saying that he felt bad for him, before adding that his friends had told him to stop talking so recklessly on the track, but he kept on going anyway. This appeared to be another indirect admission that TP's death had something to do with what the other THF members have done. And Zay wasn't done. The following month, he would drop another diss track aimed at THF, this time simply titled OTF, with Zay making it clear from the jump that he was still cool with Lil Durk, even though he found himself at war with a set that had long ties to some of Durk's closest friends. He would also once again bring up the stolen watches, before adding that Zay and his shooters pull up whenever they get an ops location, something that could be interpreted as a veiled reference to Bezoo, who was clearly killed by people who had got hold of his location. He would also claim that THF still hadn't tried to slide on him, despite allegedly having had his location as well. Zay would then close out the track by also taking shots at the THF rapper Lil Law, aka F the Law, calling his music trash and accusing him of lying about bodies. He would then follow that up with a tribute to Lil Deuce, saying there was no excuse not to slide, and pointing out how Deuce had chased his victims on foot despite having only one working leg. And then he would end the song by making it clear that they weren't playing, asking THF if they really wanted to mess with them, and even dropping a highly incriminating line about one of his shooters having just shot someone on the east side. Clearly where the BTBG...
That's why when niggas like this get locked up, y'all be like free bro, and I'll be like keep bro. You feel me? Don't let them niggas out they want to be gangster. Let them in there.
or 6300 have been behind the murder. Their members like Kill Bill and Lil Zay Osama were at least using these rumors as a way to build up their music careers. But there were still also other possible suspects, the more likely ones being the THF's older ops, including their oldest rival, 051 Young Money, and another low-end alliance known as the 757, who had both been some of the loudest to diss Bezoo on social media following his murder, which is of course understandable given how long these sets have been dissing and killing each other for. But what makes these theories perhaps the most believable in the end is that following Bezoo's murder, both 757 and 051 would then lose members and their affiliates in close succession, starting with a 26-year-old woman named Ariana Bosby, who was a baby mother of an infamous 757 rapper called BA. On the 27th of October, 2 days after the shooting of Bezoo, and the very same day that he would reportedly pass away, Bosby, who was also known as a rapper called G. Ari, would be gunned down in the 7600 block of South Vincennes Avenue in the Greater Grand Crossing neighborhood. Following her death, rumors would spread that she had backdoored Bezoo, and that was the reason she had been killed, but these rumors would apparently turn out to be false, with the same rumors also falsely claiming that her child had been in the car with her when she was shot. However, following her death, THF member Dre Money would post an ominous tweet reading 20 for 1, the WAP way, essentially implying that 20 people would be killed in revenge for Bezoo and that they had just caught their first. The message itself echoed Bezoo's own words from an infamous Instagram live with one of THF's biggest ops, 051 Melly, where he said that he didn't want anyone crying at his funeral and he just wanted them to go crazy in the streets and kill 20 people in revenge instead.
What'd you say, my boy? I said, tell him so don't be sad for you, right? You lived your life. You did what you did. You gotta accept it. I don't want them crying for me, bro. Don't cry at my funeral. So, motherfucker, ain't your dreads red, something. Don't cry. Don't cry. Get wild. I need 20 for 1, yeah?
And the killing would continue a few months later, on the 28th of December, when 32-year-old DeAndre Golden, better known as 051 Woo, the brother of the most notorious shooter from 051 Melly, would be found shot in the 12200 block of Western Avenue in the city of Blue Island in the far south side of the Chicago metro area. Just a few days later, the THF rapper G-Baby would release another song and music video titled 20 for 1, the implication once again being that another person had been killed as get back for Bezoo, the score now being 2 out of 20. And again, only a week later, the killing would continue, when on the 10th of January January, 35-year-old Randy Curtis, better known as Rilla, one of the alleged founders of the 051 Young Money set, was killed in the 1600 block of East 85th Place in the Avalon Park neighborhood. As his death was reported by popular Chicago street blogger Squid Ape, the comments would then fill up with numerous THF members trolling and seemingly claiming responsibility for the murder, even repeating their promise to kill 20 people for one. One of them even joking how he had still been smoking the last dead op, aka 051 Woo. But in the end, despite all of these possible suspects, the murder of Bezoo still remains unsolved to this day. Although according to the YouTuber Trenches News, the case has already been picked up by the feds.
I just want to tell you though, Zoo case has been picked up by the feds, man. Zoo was being investigated by the feds. We all know that. He was just in the paperwork. But his case is being picked up by the feds. The car was found abandoned. They saying about O'Hare Airport. The car was found abandoned by O'Hare Airport. Now, that's crazy.
Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but given Bezoo's very close ties to guys like Lil Durk, who has literally been indicted by the feds currently on murder for hire charges, I really wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. But when it comes to Kill Bill, on the other hand, it seems that the hype that he was starting to get following Bezoo's murder has died down considerably. Something that I unfortunately think might have less to do with his rapping skills or his charisma, and more to do with the fact that unlike some of his peers, despite his crazy reputation in the streets, so far, he's been unwilling to completely embrace that reputation in his music and in his social media antics. Now, that might sound like a stretch when we're talking about someone who's openly claimed that he and his friend have killed 20 people, but on the other hand, as Kill Bill himself would point out in another post, he could say that he has 317 bodies, but that alone doesn't make it true. Bloodhound Lil Jeff was also a rapper that started making some noise on platforms like Reddit with his wild claims about having double-digit bodies, and Jeff was allegedly taking the self-snitching to a whole other level with his music and on social media, rapping openly about everything he'd done in the streets. But in the end, what made his popularity absolutely explode was when he was actually caught doing what he rapped about on camera. The only problem with that, of course, being that Lil Jeff died on camera doing exactly what he said he did in his songs, chasing ops into their home, and while his music went super viral, he's no longer here to enjoy any of that. Meanwhile, Lil Jeff's right-hand man Q50 did a pretty good job of picking up where Jeff left off and building a lot of momentum in the drill music game off the back of rumors of having 8 bodies. But all of that arguably came at a cost, which involved a whole lot of alleged self-incrimination, dissing, and most crucially, a lot of close calls and attempts on his life. Fortunately, there are other ways of getting success, and even in Chicago, there's a lot of popular rappers coming out of the city now that rap about typical drill topics or the streets, but have never really been spoken of as being killers or even serial killers like Jeff or King Von. A lot of people are actually able to make it simply based on their music being good. Whether or not the rumors about having 10 bodies are true, I do really hope that Kill Bill can pick up his music career, find some success as an artist, and get out of the city of Chicago before it's too late. But sadly, I recently have been getting the impression that a lot of the attention and motion around Chicago drill music and drill music in general has kind of been dying down. I think ever since Lil Durk got locked up on murder for hire charges, the persona of being a rapping killer who really does the crimes that he raps about on the mic hasn't really been working out for people too much in the last few years. The era of people like King Von running around with 7 bodies and no consequences is kind of over at this point. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you've enjoyed.
Yeah, these niggas have lost the not even gonna say lost. It was never really there, but I say drill rap in general has kind of lost its aura. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids don't want to, like, put it like this, folks. It seemed like when Chief Keef came out, everybody wanted to be Chief Keef. It wasn't nobody else that niggas wanted to be like, especially like niggas, black niggas. It really wasn't nobody else that niggas wanted to be like. Kids, preteens, teens, like now niggas is in high school and they might be listening to it. They might be fans, but they ain't trying to do what you do though. They might listen to some songs here and there, but it's good to see like a lot of people is just, all that street shit is dying, bro, more and more. Like people is realizing every day more and more like that street shit lame as hell. Like these kids want to be streamers and YouTubers now and shit. When I was coming up, everybody wanted to be a rapper or a ball player. You know what I'm saying? Now you got some niggas that want to be athletes. Some niggas that want to rap still, yeah. But niggas want to be content creators. Niggas want to be streamers. Niggas know that niggas getting paid off this streaming shit now. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of niggas want these kids. They want to be streamers. These niggas is 12, 11 years old. They want to stream. They don't want to kill no damn body. You feel me? But that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. It just sucked that a lot of niggas had to die before niggas start realizing, like, hey, man, that shit ain't talking about nothing.